tonight in the Paddock. We're focusing on the impact of the Georgia legislative session on agriculture. We'll also take a closer look at ABAC's homecoming week and rodeo, and get an inside look into the grand opening of Tifton's very own farmers market. Hello and welcome to the Paddock. I'm Allison Cook. Senators Joni Ernest, Chuck Grassley, and Roger Marshall have introduced the Food Security and Farm Protection Act to protect farmers and consumers from California's Proposition 12. The bill aims to stop state regulations from affecting farming practices in other states and address issues caused by conflicting state laws that hurt small farmers. Connecticut dairy farmer Amanda Fraun took her invention cow pots to Shark Tank in hopes of growing her business. Cow pots are biodegradable pots made from composted manure, and Amanda hopes to highlight the benefits of sustainable farming with her product. U.S. soybean exports to China now face a 114.73% tariff, up from 60% as the trade war continues. While exports have declined since 2018, China remains the top destination for U.S. soybeans. The Georgia Peanut Commission has approved a $764,189 in funding for research projects for the 2025-26 budget year. The funded projects includes 40 proposals from institutions like the University of Georgia, Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, Kennesaw State University, North Carolina State University, and the USDA Agricultural Research Service. The commission also oversees $1.46 million in funding for research in Alabama, Florida, and Georgia through the Southeastern Peanut Research Initiative. Mexico has reported its first human case of H5N1 avian influenza in a 3-year-old girl from Durango State, who is currently in serious condition and hospitalized. The health ministry confirmed there is no evidence to human transmission, and the World Health Organization stated the risk to the public remains low.
I'm Layla Wallace, and here's your market report for the week, covering some key Southeast commodities: corn, cotton, soybeans, and cattle. According to Farm Journal AgWeb, corn prices were up at $4.70 a bushel. Corn futures contracts for May are projected to increase by 4 cents per bushel. For cotton prices, the May cotton futures contract settled at 67.32 cents per pound. On Wednesday, April 9th, soybean futures opened at $9.92 per bushel. Cash bean price was up 20 3/4 cents at $9.59 3/4. Soy meal futures were up 90 cents to $3.50 a ton, with soy oil futures up 120 to 141 points. The live cattle index reported a loss from previous months at $208 per head. Live cattle futures for May settled on $202.80 per head. Feeder cattle futures were in rally mode late on Wednesday, with contracts closing $3.32 to $6.47 higher. The CME Feeder Cattle Index was back up 8 cents on Tuesday, with the average price at $290.61. That's all for our market report. In the Paddock, I'm Layla Wallace.
The Georgia legislative session adjourned on April 3rd, 2025. Emily Nunnery provides us with an inside look at how new developments will impact Georgia's agriculture industry.
With session just ending, Adam Bellflower gives us an inside look into what his day looks like during session, what came out of this past session that is going to impact our agriculture industry, and what Georgia Farm Bureau does to make sure our farmers and agriculture communities are being heard.
So our big responsibility during session is to serve as a resource to legislators as they work on different policies that might affect the ag industry or that do directly affect the ag industry, and be a resource and just hopefully a place they can come to get expertise on how legislation will affect farmers and will affect rural communities, and kind of what the on-farm impact is of those bills or whatever it is that they're looking at. So really, our day-to-day, we're there, from early in the morning to late in the evening. We go to committee meetings, attend committee meetings. We monitor legislation. So one of the things that we do that I think is really important is we look at every bill that's introduced in the General Assembly, both in the House and the Senate. We review those pieces of legislation to try to catch anything in those bills that might affect ag. I think one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is what all can affect farmers.
Adam serves as a resource for legislators as they work on policies that will affect the agriculture industry. My question to him was what was the main focus during session for Georgia Farm Bureau and what is going to be the most impactful for our agriculture industry?
Our big priority this year was trying to provide relief for folks affected by Hurricane Helene. That was a once in a lifetime storm, the most impactful hurricane to ever hit our state, and really caused just significant damages to the entire state, but to the entire ag industry. So that was definitely our number one priority. There was a bill, House Bill 223, that we were very excited to see pass. And what it did was provide multiple different types of tax relief to farmers as they go through the recovery and cleanup process. So, Governor Kemp, his priority issue this year was tort reform, which can be a little abstract to some folks, but really what it was about was just bringing down the cost of insurance and bringing down the cost of doing businesses for all business owners. And farmers are definitely included in that. So that was a very meaningful piece of legislation that passed. We were excited to work on that.
Georgia Farm Bureau's main goal during this past session was providing relief for farmers after Hurricane Helene. The Weathered But Strong Foundation is one of the many programs that has been able to assist farmers in many ways to improve their operations during difficult times.
CUVA is one, if not the most important program that the state offers to farmers to keep them financially viable and financially competitive and keep their land and ag production. So there was a few things that we did as it relates to the CUVA statute that will be very beneficial to farmers.
As the 2025 legislative session came to a close, one thing is clear. Georgia Farm Bureau continues to be a strong and steady voice for our farmers and the entire agriculture community, fighting for what matters and making sure Georgia agriculture continues to flourish.
This week, ABAC students competed for the Stallion Cup and prepared for the infamous rodeo. Hannah Fletcher joins us today to share more details on exciting events.
What a better way to wrap up homecoming week at ABAC than the ABAC Rodeo. Check out this quick recap of all the fun, featuring big wins, even bigger energy, and of course, our 2025 Stallion Cup winner. What a way to close out homecoming week at ABAC. The stands were packed Friday and Saturday night for the ABAC Rodeo, the grand finale of a week full of stallion pride. Students showed up and showed out, and the energy was electric.
Oh, it was great. We had about 1,200 people each night, give or take. So great energy, a lot of people coming out, having fun, being a part of homecoming. Have a lot of alum that come and reconnect with old friends. Some make new ones, new connections, and seeing how the campus is doing. So it's just a really good event. We're really proud to have it to be a part of homecoming.
And the big news? The 2025 Stallion Cup winners were announced. Congratulations to ABAC BCM for bringing home the win. A night of rodeo action, school spirit, and celebration to remember.
Hey y'all, and welcome to your weather update from the Paddock. I'm Christopher Kubander. As we look ahead to the latter half of April, Georgia and much of the southeast can expect a pretty typical spring pattern, but with a few noteworthy trends. Temperatures across the region are forecast to be near normal, with some areas leaning slightly below normal in the 8 to 14 day outlook. That means we won't see any major freezes coming up, but some cooler than average days are possible, especially across central and northern parts of Georgia and neighboring areas. Now, let's talk rain. Precipitation is expected to stay near seasonal norms across much of Georgia. However, areas just north and west of the state may see above normal rainfall that could bring a few scattered showers and storms, but again, nothing out of the ordinary for mid-April. And that rain could be helpful because when it comes to drought, Georgia is still feeling the effects of lingering dryness. As we look at the latest U.S. Drought Monitor map, valid as of April 1st, we see that 23% of Georgia is experiencing drought conditions, with an additional 30.6% classified as abnormally dry. Moderate drought is affecting 21.6% of the state, while a small portion, 1.5%, is seeing severe drought conditions primarily in the east-central part of the state. The good news is, no areas are currently classified in extreme or exceptional drought. So, while spring rains are helping to ease some of that dryness, many communities, especially in central and eastern Georgia, could still use some moisture. We should expect a seasonally mild stretch of weather with some much-needed rain chances in the mix. And that is your weather update.
This past Saturday, Tifton, Georgia marked the grand opening of its latest downtown edition, the Farmers Market, located on 1st Street Extension. The market will be open through July 26, 2025. Layla Wallace brings us the story.
The Tifton Farmers Market had a grand reopening April 5th, 2025 in downtown Tifton, officially marking the beginning of the spring season in South Georgia. The day began with a ribbon-cutting ceremony held at 9 a.m. Then visitors joined to listen to live music, engage in children's activities, and shop for local produce and handcrafted items. The best part? The market is free to visit and is conveniently located downtown.
It's a lot more easy for someone to see it passing by when they're driving down the road. So if they didn't know about the farmers market, they pass by, they see what's going on, they can pull over and come shop with the market.
The market ultimately brought the Tifton community closer together. The Tifton Farmers Market states that their mission is to support local farmers and artisans and to create a space where our community can come together to celebrate food and each other.
I think it's been a wonderful partnership with Downtown Tifton. They've been amazing supporting the market, helping us get the word out. It's offered us a chance to partner with different community businesses. We had the Tifton Council for the Arts here last Saturday with our kids' crafts, and we're excited. The local Grays has started a brunch on Saturday mornings to offer more for the community to come out and do on Saturdays. This Saturday is second Saturday in downtown Tifton, so we'll actually have the Easter Bunny taking pictures here at the farmers market. We'll have live music, of course, and so it's just a great way for people to get out and come spend some time downtown. It's great for our local merchants to bring even more people down here, and so we've just really enjoyed getting to be part of the downtown community.
The market offers a wide variety of vendors, ranging from seasonal produce and meats to handmade art. There is something for everyone at the Tifton Farmers Market. This opportunity will benefit the Tifton community as a whole by providing fresh, accessible food and experiences that draw the community together. The market will be held every Saturday in April, June, and July. In the Paddock, I'm Layla Wallace.
Well, that will wrap us up for today. Thanks for tuning in for the latest Ag and ABAC news. From all of us here at the Paddock, I'm Allison Cook. Have a great week and G-Haul, y'all.